Have you been to Pizzeria 1926?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No, is it legit a Napoleon pizza? That's not
Napoleon. Do you like your Napoleon pizza?
Neapolitan pizza. Yeah.
Napoleon, Jesus Christ.
No, I speak not. Io parle un po' italiano.
Wow.
No parle Neapolitan.
Look at you trying to...
Oh,
Napoletano.
yeah.
Look at you trying to make up for it now. You fucked up the pizza name.
Pizza.
Yeah, Pizzeria 1926 is the most legit pizza in Edinburgh.
Is it?
It's up next to Haymarket, and I'd always tell people to go and see it. Go and see it.
Go and see it. Don't bother eating there. Just have a look in.
Just
see
poke
the
your
Italian
head.
guy in the kitchen and go.
Just poke your head
proper
in the
authentic
window.
stuff that, and then just leave. I've only had 2 slices of pizza for breakfast.
Did you?
It's common breakfast for that, me. 2 cold slices of pizza from the night before.
I can't do cold pizza
What?
because I don't. This
I
is
mean,
the
a
thing.
microwave it for.
But that's the thing. I don't leave any pizza. I always finish the pizza, so there's never any stuff in the morning. I don't get people who like, oh, I'll just like, why are you not finishing the pizza? As soon as it's in the door, I'm eating the pizza. It needs to be as hot as possible.
Right, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. But I get like
Are you with me?
I'm the same.
Yes.
I get like a deal. I get like 2 pizzas, some garlic bread, some wedges, and then leave a bit left over, and I'll eat it over like 2 days.
All right.
I'll have it for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's
How
pretty terrible. That.
how do you heat the pizza up? Or do you heat?
Sometimes chuck it in the microwave, sometimes chuck it in the grill, the oven. Sometimes I don't. It just depends how lazy I'm feeling at the end of the day.
How hungover you are? Yeah.
Exactly. That, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not even hungover. I'm just lazy. I don't like doing things. Do you know what I mean?
So how come you were out? So you're in Edinburgh. You were doing a stag do. This is your trial last night.
Yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite a tame.
Quite a tame one. They were really lovely. I wasn't meant to be doing it originally. I got it this week. I was meant to be doing the one that I'm doing tonight.
Yeah.
So I then ended up staying here yesterday. And it's one of them, innit? Like where... Because I messaged you asking, like... Because I knew I had to do your podcast today. I messaged you asking if you knew anyone with a spare room. Because I just knew if I was staying with any of the people that I'd usually stay with on a Saturday night.
Yeah, you know how it's going.
Yeah, it was going to get messy. And that's a big problem for me as like a road comic. Like... Because you can't just be like, oh, can I use your spare room? Yeah, we're going out tonight. You coming? No, I'm just going to just sit in here.
I've got a podcast at 1:30 tomorrow. I'll just have a quiet one.
Exactly that. It's just not going to happen whatsoever. Even if it does, they're going to come in at like 3 a.m. and you're going to wake up and this, that, and the other.
What did the stag do get roasted for? What was he confessing? Was it anything good?
Nah, the stag himself was so, with respect, boring. I hope he's not watching this. But
You're fucking boring, mate.
He didn't drink, and his crime was that he was just too sensible. They had no crimes. But apparently, as a kid, he poured petrol in his eye and had to go to hospital. The first time he tried to help his mum fill up the car. And I'm like, that's not sensible.
Petrol in his eye?
Yeah, for someone who doesn't drink and is supposedly sensible, pouring petrol in your eye. That's probably why you don't drink. You just drunk permanently after ingesting petrol as a child.
Well, that's your only thing in life you've done. Well, I wouldn't say well because you've not really lived. I hope he does watch this, and he fucking won't.
But there was 4 of them. One of them had fingered a girl behind a bin in Lanark. That was his crime.
That sounds like a cliche thing you would say. Someone got fingered behind the bins.
Yeah,
and this
in
guy,
Lanark as well.
In Lanark. Lanark's a massive part of Scotland.
Oh, really?
Like, it's got South Lanark. Oh, no, maybe it's Lanarkshire and South Lanarkshire. North Lanarkshire, I think. It's a fucking big bit. Hold on, let me just have a wee...
Yeah, Lanarkshire, I'd imagine, is big. It's like a region, but Lanark...
Oh, no. Lanark, small town in Scotland. Cool.
Well,
population 8,000.
If there's someone you should go to for geography, it is Ralph
fucking
Brown.
do not come at me
right.
for that.
I was thinking, like, no way. Like, there's absolutely no way. You're telling me Lanark is more populous than
No,
Amsterdam.
I'm thinking
more
South Lanarkshire.
Than Edinburgh and Glasgow combined. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because remember in COVID, they were always just like, South Lanarkshire is like, that was one of the red zones or whatever like that. Yeah,
oh, God,
and everyone was like,
about those red zones.
And everyone was like, oh, for fuck's sake, Lanarkshire, why are you holding us back, man?
They were so harsh, those zones. Like, I just remember they made, like, one of the first ones in England they made a red zone was Leicester. When they just never took it out of red zone.
Yeah, Leicester
so
was...
every time we went back to lockdowns and went back to zones, Leicester, just strictly speaking, been in a lockdown for 3 years.
If I was in Leicester, I would have left Leicester like after about 3 months because that could not have been any way of living.
Yeah. I kept coming up here and then just camping. That was legal, right?
What were you camping about?
Huh?
Where were you camping?
Just in like the Highlands.
All right, I thought you meant in Edinburgh.
No, in Edinburgh City Centre. And I just came here and became homeless, mate.
Seat, yeah.
It was a good crack, yeah. Just something to do in it. You know what I mean? I was tired of jogging, so I just decided to be homeless. I'd live in a tent in the city. That was how I get my kicks.
I mean, it's gonna come. It's coming.
I do feel it is coming, to be fair, but not my choice.
Yeah.
I just feel I'm making life choices where I'll end up as a crackhead by a bin one day. I just be like, I did see this coming. There were warning signs. I could have stopped myself, but
I was like, I can see it coming. I didn't mean for you. I just meant people living in tents in the city.
Oh yeah,
but also that. But also you being an absolute degenerate.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to put in. I'm just gonna have to stop at one point, otherwise it is just gonna slowly degenerate into being a crackhead.
Yeah.
I think I'm a crack. I was maybe thinking about doing my Edinburgh show about this, and not this year, but maybe next year. I think I'm a crackhead that hasn't discovered crack.
Yeah. Why would we say that?
I'm very extroverted and I've got very addictive personality.
Yeah.
Like very addictive tendencies. Anything I discover, I get addicted to.
What are you addicted to right now?
Booze is still something. I wouldn't say I'm addicted. Yeah, I'm not addicted to it, but like I keep making rash decisions with it where it impacts my life.
Love
you know what I mean? I used to be addicted to cigarettes, but I kicked them, and now sometimes I'll have a drink instead of a cigarette. I think that's quite bad. But
You're a vapor.
No, I used to vape when I was giving up cigarettes, but I don't have any nicotine in my system whatsoever now.
No? Ooh.
Yeah, and I think it's half and half. I think it's made an enormous positive difference to like my mental health and my cognitive function. But because I'm not smoking cigarettes, I think that's what's making me think I might be a crackhead.
Because you've got the urges.
Yeah, when I go out, I just do stupider and stupider things.
Like what?
Instead of going like, oh, I'll have a cigarette. Because cigarettes take your energy away, and you're just like, okay, I'll go home, I'll have a cigarette, and I'll just, I'll fall asleep, I'll be tired. It takes your energy away. So I've got all this energy, and I'm just like, I just don't stop. Like I literally don't, like the last few days of the Fringe, I was out for like 3 days straight. At 6 a.m. on the Sunday, like 6 a.m, not earlier. 6 a.m.
Was this last year's one?
Yeah, the one just gone 2022.
Yeah,
6 a.m, I decided to climb Arthur's Seat. I did not need to conquer a mountain at like 6 a.m.
I've never had that urge to go up. I've been up Arthur's Seat twice, and I live here. I will never fucking go up there hungover or drunk or anything.
I came down at about 10 a.m. and then went in the pub and sat in the pub till 6. Then went with my mates, then passed out, and then woke up at 10 and went to the stand rap party, and then was out till 2 p.m. on the Tuesday, I think it was.
It's funny.
Yeah.
One of my favourite memories from 2021 stand rap party at the end of the Fringe is previous podcast guest B Babylon's. Had gone through.
I saw it was she had the clip where she was talking about Iceland tourism and then getting raped by her dad or something. That was that not the clip?
Is that what you?
There was a joke about it. I swear to God, it was a joke about being protected.
It was.
By her
I don't
dad.
think her dad was mentioned, but yeah, she was talking about being covered in cum as a child. So
there you go.
It could have been anyone though. We didn't name any names for legal reasons.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get sued by B's dad.
So we were at that stand rap party, and B had just gone through her like cancer treatment, and she had got like the doctor
I think I was
said,
living with her.
You were. So she'd got this. The doctor had said, "You've got the cleanest MRI ever. You've got the cleanest."
I thought I was going somewhere else because she had
No.
cervical cancer. You got the cleanest fanny I've ever seen. But the cancer's still there.
He
I'm
can't
so
say
sorry.
that. The doctors can't say that. He was like, "You've got the cleanest MRI." So this was a kind of running joke. B would get drunk and tell everyone that she had a really clean MRI. And we would all go, "Oh, shut the fuck up, B. Stop going on about it." But you didn't know about this inside joke. So B, me, you and B are standing there, and B goes, "Oh, my clean MRI." And I went, "B, will you shut the fuck up about your clean MRI?" And he went, "Ralph, you can't say that."
I can remember panicking like, what are you doing?
Yeah. You looked at me like you can't. She survived cancer. You can't say that to her, man. I would have loved to have just taken a picture of your face as you just went, "You can't say that." Do you think it would ever do crack?
Huh?
Do you think it would ever do crack then?
No.
Why not?
At first glance, no. But I said I wouldn't do a lot. I've done a lot.
I think
Do
you
know what
can.
I mean?
I think don't be making any rash decisions. I'm not going to hold you to it. If you do want to do it, you can come back on the pod.
Tell you about my experience.
No. You can smoke crack live on the pod.
You would get shadow banned immediately.
No. Not Spotify. They love that shit.
Oh, YouTube, yeah. No, Spotify, do they?
I don't know. It feels like they just maybe put up a one and be like, on this episode, someone gets.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, he's always like, I mean, he's not doing crack, is he? But weed's legal. I think I should try it and then just come back a month later and be like, yep, that worked. I'm definitely a crackhead now.
And I'd be like, sorry about that. But my listening figures were through the roof on that episode.
And it's all at your expense.
Yeah,
Thank
throw you
so
under the bus.
kindly.
This podcast is now sponsored by crack. So you do a lot of do you do other like kind of rowdy stag do's with this the trial thing? Because I saw on your website that you do a corporate roast.
Oh yeah, that was something I did in the pandemic.
Oh, is that just pandemic
yeah,
times?
It was just I was hoping to continue after the pandemic, but it's not quite happened. I've done a few weddings and birthdays where basically what I say is like, you send me details about the guests, send me particularly like links to their Facebook profiles. So many people out there. I've got some really embarrassing posts from like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
Just like left public and they've not realised. So I was like this 24-year-old kid at the last birthday party I did, and I was roasting his Facebook post when he was like 13. He was talking about how happy he is to be single and this, that, and the other. You know, I was like 13. But he was smashing loads of punani at 13. But,
and he's happy to be single at 13. What kind of a mad shag was he?
Exactly. Looking at him, I don't think he did any shagging it now, never mind at 13. But like, yeah, I charge him a pretty penny because you've got to do all the research and then remember it all when you go up. But
nice.
Yeah, I started doing it very cheap in the pandemic just to have something to do. And I was doing it primarily for businesses. And now I'm doing it for like birthdays, weddings, private parties, and less businesses. But that is there. If you want a corporate roast,
Raul Kohli.
www.raulcohli.com. Email for prices.
How did it go though? Did they always?
It went really, really well. I've never had a bad one yet, to be fair.
All right. It's pretty good.
The only ones where they've gone like, okay, like, where they've not asked for us, they've just asked me to come and do like a private party and do stand-up. And I'm just like...
On Zoom? Or in person?
In person. It's not like they've gone badly, but they've just gone, it's not been like uproarious. Everyone's had a nice time. And
Yeah.
forget me tomorrow. But it's like, just let me make it personal, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get why you would do that. Just if the comedian said, oh, it's a lot better if we do this, but then... you probably run the risk of someone going, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that about the father of the bride.
Yeah. It was really funny, this one, because I don't know if I can say it, but I'm going to say it, why not?
Fuck it.
Yeah. Like, one of the uncles at this birthday party was in like the Daily Star.
Oh, this is already good.
Because
That's where I get all my news.
it's this ridiculous story. He'd like apparently like invited a worker of the night, shall we say?
Okay.
Sex worker to the shop.
Sex worker.
And she was like, but your shop's open. Like, what if kids walk in? And he's like, I don't give a fuck. And apparently he was doing lines, according to the Daily Star article, doing lines off the top of his freezer. Like
What
his
kind of
fridge
shop?
freezer with the ice pops in. It's just a corner shop, mate. Like a standard corner shop. People were coming in and he was like offering customers lines. I was like, this is the best corner shop. Oh my God. And they were like, what if kids walk in? He was like, I don't give a fuck. And they would just do another line.
So where did it... So you just get the prostitutes in?
I don't know if he text the prostitute. And I don't know how it ended up in the paper. The text message ended up in the paper. And witness statements from people who come in the shop seeing him doing lines was in the paper. But I think even the prostitute was like, no. Like, this is
I've got to draw a line here.
Yeah, that is very immoral. Like, what happens if a kid walks in? He's like, I don't give a fuck. Well, I do.
Well, yeah, but I'll draw the line here.
Absolutely irrespectable.
Oh my God. And so then what did everyone make of that when you bring that up?
Well, they told me like...
They said
told me,
one
like-
thing don't mention is his coat habit in the shop.
Well, at first they were like, "Oh no, talk about that. They're gonna love it." Yada yada. Yada. Then he's like, "Actually, if you could not mention that at all, please."
And you
like,
went,
obviously. I just touched on like I never really like. I think I pointed. I was like, I think I've read about you, haven't I? I've read about you in the papers, and everyone got very tense
yeah.
because everyone knows. But I'm like, "Oh, you're the guy who owns Sainsbury's, aren't you?"
Did they call it Sainsbury's?
No, it's a different shop
Oh, that's a brilliant name.
owned by another Asian corner shop owner.
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's, but you got sued by Sainsbury's.
Oh, come on, take a joke.
Nah, you
Sainsbury's.
just changed it to Morrison's.
Ah. I love that.
And then like Morrison's were a bit more PR savvy, and they were like, "Here, we're going to send you loads of free Morrison's branded stuff
Oh
you can
my
sell."
god.
Yeah.
See, a pun name for a business, I'm all in.
How do you feel about pun names for Edinburgh shows?
Love it.
I love it, but I always feel
You,
a bit
you
like,
not realise where you are, mate. You're in the fucking Brown Jewels here, mate.
I can't believe I thought this was Brown the Jewels.
Brown the Jewels.
After Run the Jewels.
Just a rap podcast by the whitest guy on earth.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, but any kind of pun thing, I'm all into.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned on here before, did a gig in Perth and there was a nail shop called Nail Diamond. And my friend, it does like boiler and like, he's a boiler and gas engineer. And he was trying to come up with a name for a business, and someone told him he should call his company Madagascar.
you'd stop and look at that on a man, would it matter what now?
If I'm flicking through the Google and I'm like just kind of like, who am I going to pick for this? And I see Madagascar, I'm going to them. I'm picking a pun name over a company with better ratings.
Have you seen the snowplows?
The snowplows. Oh, is this like they've all called like gritty bang bang and things like
Yeah,
that?
they've all just got like ridiculous names like that. They're all hilarious.
Anything like that. Count me in.
Are you doing a shirt the fringes here?
I am.
What's your title?
Ralph Mail.
Ralph Mail, that's a good pun. Mine's Raul Britannia.
There you go. I thought you were doing full English.
Yeah, I've changed it to Raul Britannia because I'm just a bit skeptical about being in Scotland. And
So you go with Raul Britannia in Scotland.
it still at least suggests Britain, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scotland's included.
I suppose,
the full
yeah,
English is like, I'm
the
just talking about
English.
England, which I'm not. I'm
Yeah, that's
talking about
fair.
Scotland as well. I literally have one joke about Scotland, about the William Wallace statue
Oh yeah.
in Stirling.
What's that?
Well,
What's the joke? Are you making my culture a punchline?
I am taking the mick out of your culture, mate.
It's very easily done.
The statue was built like, you know, you got like a devolved parliament in 1987.
Yeah.
And the independence fever really sort of swooped the nation in 1996 and 1997.
Yeah.
What people often forget is genuinely true is that a lot of that was inspired by the fact in 1995 the movie Braveheart came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so inspired by that, they built a statue of William Wallace in the city of Stirling to commemorate his win over the English.
Shout out Mel Gibson.
Shaka Milk. Well, that's it. There's no historical record of what William Wallace looks like.
Yeah.
So if you go to
That's
Stirling, it's just a statue of Mel Gibson in a kilt.
I bet when all that his like Jew hating came out, the people of Stirling were like, we shouldn't have done that. We made a mistake here.
It wasn't like you put it up and they go, oh God, he's an anti-Semite. We didn't. We had no idea. Yeah, I think that's the saving grace is that he didn't play the lead in the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a trip to Jerusalem that'd be? Just
Oh
Jesus
my
as
God.
literally an anti-Semite.
The apology he would have had to have done for that. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's good. So Raul Britannia is a good one. That's good.
It's all about really just all the different parts of the UK I've visited. And then there's a narrative sort of shoehorned in about.
What's your least favourite place in the UK?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Good.
I think everywhere's got a little bit of Sunderland, obviously, for me. I had one good night. I've only had one night out in Sunderland. It was decent. But, yeah, Sunderland is. It's. You ever been to Sunderland?
Yeah.
I kind of like. What madness drove you there?
Well, we were on a weekend away in Newcastle.
What the fuck?
Well, this is the thing.
Thought we just popped to Sunderland, eh?
Someone someone was left in charge of booking hotels and booked the Travelodge in between Newcastle and Sunderland. No. Yeah, and so I think we were actually closer to Sunderland.
Oh,
and
no.
we booked it so we were going to go down for a Newcastle game. Guess what? The Newcastle weren't in town that day, and it was Sunderland Wigan at Stadium of Light.
Oh,
and so he went.
I've been to the Stadium of Light.
But imagine going to see Sunderland Wigan when you're hungover as fuck. The only saving grace of the whole trip is there was a Burger King in the Travelodge.
I thought you were going to say there's a Burger King in the Stadium of Light, and I was like, if there is, that's really impressive.
No, in the Travelodge.
That's still pretty impressive. Yeah, in the Travelodge.
I think the guy who booked it, my mate Darren, I think he booked it on the back of that.
Just for the Burger
Yeah.
King. That's understandable, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought
can
he
see
was
why
like,
he made
it
that
was an
rash
accident.
decision.
It was an accident. I know
Yeah.
you fucking booked it,
It's a bit
Darren.
like somebody booking an emergency gas repairman just because they've got a cute name, Madagascar.
Madagascar. Tell you what, if anyone wants that, you can have that. If you're setting up a boiler and gas company, Madagascar, it's all yours.
I've got a bit of a shady friend who,
Yeah.
he started his
Is
own.
this a friend?
Yeah, he's a shady friend. He started his own like plumbing company.
Uh-huh.
He's quite good at it now. When he started, he had no experience in plumbing whatsoever.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he just managed to get himself to the top of Google. And where he would exploit like this niche in the market is most plumbers would only turn up between like 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Uh-huh.
He was 24-hour emergency, would turn up whenever. And like, you get called in. He'd literally tell me, like, walk in. He'd be like, you walk in and he'd be like, oh, yeah. I see what's wrong here. I'll sort it out. No problem whatsoever. Just give me a couple hours alone with your toilet.
Does he go on
Leave,
YouTube?
and then you just go on YouTube.
Beautiful.
Like, bro, I just go on YouTube, figure out what to do, and then charge him like 300 quid.
That's
One of the
genius.
best ones is when I've seen him get the calls through. And he was down for a while as 2 different companies. And so when somebody would ring the first number, because it was the first 2 you'd see on Google, somebody ring the first number. And you'd just talk normally and offer them quite a high price. And if they said no, they'd ring the second number, which was him putting on an Eastern European accent. He pretended to be okay, yes. And then he just offer it for half the price. And then God knows if they'd gone with the second company for half the price, what they would think when like this Indian guy turns.
Yeah, but who the fuck is your receptionist? So did he get the jobs from the first company more?
I couldn't tell you, mate.
Because I tell you what, that's a wise move to do that.
He's very street smart. Is this guy? Yeah, yeah. But this guy is like the king of scams.
Love that.
But like they're the stupidest but smartest scams I've ever seen.
What else has he done?
So he's the one I talk about when he left the strip club. Have you ever seen that bit?
Yeah,
of
and he did,
material?
and then he walks along the road or something.
Like, he spent £500 in the strip club on his 15th birthday. He had a fake ID, and then he leaves the strip club. And he's like, crap! I spent all my money. I got no money to get home. So he calls the police and tells them he's just been in a strip club and spent £500. But he's 15, so he's underage. So the police came, like bollocked the manager, shut down the strip club for an hour, got the £500, give him it back, and then give him a free lift home. It was just like beyond measure with all this kind of stuff. Another time, what he did was he used to sell like at college. Used to sell like MCAT, which was like £3 a gram you could buy from like a shop, and he'd claim it was cocaine, and he basically like he got caught out doing that, and he was like, I can prove it. It's definitely cocaine. I'll show you. He's like, right, show me. And he got like a scientific calculator out of the boot of his car. Got some crocodile clips, put them on the end of the scientific calculator, put the other ends of the crocodile clips into the bag of MCAT. Just typed some random stuff on the calculator.
No.
Showed him the calculator.
And
I don't know what. I could have said boobs for all I know. And this guy was like, okay, yeah, cool.
Oh my God.
This guy, he went to he failed his AS levels. He got like 3 Ds and a U. And so he
What the
went
fuck is a U in the terms of exams?
A U, unintelligible. It's like the worst of the worst.
We don't have that up here.
Oh,
We
shit,
should.
yeah, you got because we got like standard, similar to American grades, A to U. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F.
And then a
F is fail,
U.
U is unintelligible. Yeah.
Oh God.
I got a U once not in an exam, but in year 9 in physics. And I knew my mum was going to beat the living shit out of me. So I intercepted my report.
I did that as well.
I took it to this guy's house, put it in his photo scanner, we changed the U to a B, and then posted the report back.
Oh, I didn't do that. I just intercepted the report card and put it in the bin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. I intercepted it, changed the grade, like photocopied it back in, changed the grade, printed it back out, and then posted it back.
I should have done that.
But when he got 3 Ds and a U, or 3 E's and a U, I think it was, went and resat and got 4 U's. What did you do that year? How did it get even worse?
Oh God.
Have you seen the new Raul Moat documentary?
No.
There's a new Raul Moat, well, not documentary, but biopic.
Biopic, that's so good. Like Elvis.
Yeah, like yeah, biopic might not be the right word.
I think you've got the wrong
Like
word.
Raul Moat's story. The man, the myth.
Who plays him?
Like
Who plays him?
Dramatization.
A dramatization.
That's correct. I don't know, just some Northeast actor. I was nearly in it actually, as his Asian sidekick.
Raul Moat's Asian sidekick?
Yeah, Raul Moat had an Asian sidekick.
What was the sidekick do?
The sidekick helped him like. So the sidekick, we had 2 sidekicks. One of them was like helping him.
We're making him sound like Batman or something.
Dick Dastardly and Mutt. He killed 3 people. It's not the wacky racist.
Yeah. There's a dark race.
He did have 2 sidekicks because he went missing for ages.
Yeah.
And like it was quite hard to find him. And it's because one guy was keeping him hidden, and this other guy brought in this other guy because he was like quite connected to certain parts of the criminal underworld and a lot of security staff he was friends with, and they would look out for him. But also, like, I don't know about you, but judging from the character for one Raul Moat,
Yeah.
if he turned up at my house and was like, right, can you hide us? I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
Like, I am
Come
going
on
to be
in.
terrified. This sidekick who got this Asian car dealer
Yeah.
in on the whole thing as well. And they both got a lot of jail time for helping him hide and helping him escape.
Fuck.
Like that.
And you went for the role of that?
Yeah, with the role of the Asian sidekick. Didn't get it.
I mean, you could have then been famous for that if that's a kind of breakout
Raul
role.
and Raul Moat's, but
Raul's sidekick. What was the guy's name?
Karam, I think. I think it
Karam.
was Karam, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
But I did get confused for Raul Moat,
You've been confused for Raul Moat.
just briefly. Because the day he went missing was the day I went backpacking. Back then, you don't have like the 24-hour news. So we did, but you didn't have like
Yeah, it wasn't
Twitter
proper.
and Facebook
Yeah,
news
yeah.
notifications to your phone. And so like day 2 of my backpacking, I'm in the Czech Republic, and I met this guy called Stan Bonner from Swindon, still known today. We had a big drink up, good chat, got on. He goes back home, and then he's in the pub with all his pals from Swindon, and they're like, oh, how was your trip? And he's telling them all the stories. Like, oh, on the last night, met this Geordie called Raul. We had, like, a big
He's
drink
a
up,
Nathan.
really got on, and they were like, a Geordie called Raul just killed loads of people and literally went missing the day you say this guy arrived on the continent. And he said, like, pretty quickly saw a picture and realised I wasn't a roided up
Yeah,
white
yeah.
guy.
You have a very different vibe from the real Raul Moat.
Just different appearance. I mean, I'm not white. I'm not ginger. I'm not 260 pounds. Like,
Very different.
yeah, but like he said, for a split second until he saw that picture, it was one of the most conflicting moments of his life because he was like, if you killed all these people, Raul, that's pretty unforgivable sin. But also, you were a real good laugh.
I enjoyed those pints, mate.
Enjoyed those pints, mate. Enjoyed the stories. You know what I mean? Was willing to forgive all the mass murder. I actually met Gaza as well.
So Louise Young was on the pod. She told about the time that Gaza was in the audience. But
Right,
have you
she
met
was
him?
supporting me.
Yes, yeah. She said she was like, you came up to her and was just like, Gaza's in the audience.
Yeah, so she's got all these tour dates supporting Alan Carr now. Alan who? Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
not bringing
yeah.
Gaza to his shows. So how all that, mate, was very interesting.
But you met him outside of that show, or was that the time you met him?
Nah, let's get into it, mate. It's a good story, this, but it's very peculiar.
Brilliant.
My sister
Oh,
is a conventionally very attractive woman.
okay.
Like, she has like 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, really?
She doesn't have like an OnlyFans, doesn't post like any pics like that or nothing.
Okay.
She just has 50,000 followers off of being attractive.
Attractive.
Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
And I'm out here every day editing and clipping and subtitling, and I've like 2,500 followers.
Fuck all.
you, Kajal. I hope you watch this. But so one day, like, Gaza turns up in her DMs, unbeknownst to me. And like, I was staying in my family house for that show. She was living there at the time. We're both getting like ready in our respective rooms.
Yeah.
So he slides in her DMs, and she's like, immediately no. Like, but, Gaza, you're a hero. Absolutely loved you growing up. Love to. Like,
How DM sliding was it though? Was it like,
I don't know exactly what he said. I just know he slid in the
you-
DMs with the intention of like flirting with her. And she was like, immediately no. But, you're a hero. We can have like a coffee or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, we could be friends.
it's not a definite, yeah.
Nothing more, right?
Yeah.
And then like the next day, messages her. He's like, "Oh, thank you. Cool. I might take you on the next day." She's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go see my brother's show. He's a comedian. He's doing a show at the Stand." He's like, "Can I come?" So I don't know any of this at the time. I'm just like getting ready, doing my hair in the mirror and stuff, and then I hear a call. Rahul, yeah. Can Gaza come to your show? It's like a quarter of a second decision where you're like, this could completely ruin the show.
Yeah.
But it could also completely,
Good story.
yeah.
That's what you want.
So, me, my mum, and sister leave the house. Mum's driving. I'm in the back. Sister's in the front. Pop by a hotel. Pick up Gaza.
You picked him up.
Yeah, weirdest car share of my life, mate. Me.
Holy fuck! What year was this?
When did I do Newcastle Brown Tails? Maybe 2017.
Yeah.
It's me, Gaza, my mum, my sister. The weirdest car shirt ever. He's an interesting character, man. He's a good guy. But
How off the rails was he at this point?
you can tell he's drank and done that many drugs that his brain sort of like, it's a bit genius, but it's also like just not fully there sometimes.
Yeah.
He told me the story of how I ended up at the Raul Moat standoff, and it's the best story I've ever heard.
He told you that story.
Yeah, he said word for word, this is what he said. He's like, Raul, this is how I ended up at the Raul Moat standoff. Because I do the joke. I used to do the joke, weird being a Geordie called Raul. It's just me and Raul Moat.
Yeah.
And that's awkward now because Gaza keeps on turning my house to a chicken, a fish, and a crate of beer.
Yeah.
So I did that to him. He loved it. He goes, this is how I ended up at the Raul Moat standoff. He's like, it was a bad time in my life, Raul. Said this word for word. He goes, I was living in a hotel. He still was living in a hotel.
Yeah.
I was living in a hotel. And I was addicted to Nintendo Wii.
Get that.
Do you think that?
Get that man on the crack.
And then he goes, but I was also addicted to cocaine, Raul.
Right. Okay. That's better.
That's where the problem started.
He's just playing Wii bowling all the time while he's high as a tits and cooking.
If he just stuck with a Wii bowling, he wouldn't have ended up at that standoff. But it was when he cracked open the bag
Wii
while
fishing.
playing the Wii
He's probably
tennis.
doing the Wii fishing. He's like, do you know
Sat there
what? I'm loving this fishing rod stuff.
There's a parallel universe in there where Gaz has turned up with a chicken, a crate of beer, and 2 Wii remotes. And he was like, I was watching this whole thing on the telly. And I was going, this is a tragedy, Raul. Had a couple of cans and thought, this is a tragedy. Like, crucially, Raul has nothing to do with me. But that's when the cocaine kicked in. So I had one line, Raul, and I go, I swear I know this Raul fella. I swear I've gone into liquid envy when he was working the doors and that.
Holy
And then
shit.
I've had 2 lines and I've gone, me and this Raul are best friends. And then I've had 3 lines and I've gone, right, I've got to go save my brother. I don't remember the rest of the night. I wake up the next morning, there's loud banging at my door. I look at my phone. My phone's got 1,000 missed calls. I turn around, I switch the telly on. My face is plastered all over the news. I ask who's banging at the door. Paul, it's your dad, let us in. Dad, have I fucked up? You're damn right you fucked up, Paul, now let us in.
Holy shit.
That is Gaz's first-hand account of how he ended up at the Raul Moat
Oh
standoff.
my god. Who would have thought that the Nintendo Wii would factor into that story?
It's just how he opened that story. I'm like, that's why I was like, it's just a bit of genius, isn't it? Like, that is surrealist humour at its best. I don't think it was humour. I think it genuinely was his life. Living in a hotel. I was addicted to Nintendo.
I mean,
What?
I loved the Nintendo Wii. But it wasn't that good.
This is what I mean. Like, I think I could have got addicted to Nintendo Wii. This is why I think I could be a crackhead. I could just... I'm more likely to end up as a Gaza at this point than Raul Moat or his Asian sidekick.
Yeah.
In any of these scenarios.
So what happens when you get Gaza to the gig? Is he... Oh,
He's
is, this,
all right.
is this the one the one Louise mentioned?
Yeah.
Right,
He's
holy
all right.
fuck.
He's just like
That's-
really enthusiastic, really enjoying it.
I
At
love
one point
that-
He got his phone out. He's like, I'm filming for Louis Tomlinson. Not Louis Tomlinson. Louis... Who's the
that
judge
not
on
the-
Britain's Got Talent?
Who's Louis Tomlinson?
Louis Tomlinson, I think, is a member of One Direction. Louis... Not Theroux. Louis...
Louis Walsh.
That's it, Louis Walsh. Yeah. I'm filming for Louis Walsh.
creepy
Send it
man.
to him.
You guess you've had a lot of wild gigs over the years. Is there any kind of, you've had Gaz in the audience?
Yeah, I think the maddest one I've ever had is when I started a riot in Liverpool.
Love it.
Yeah. It's just like these people were talking the side and like heckle put downs all work fine. And then like these 2 like scallies next to them.
Uh-huh.
And they kept talking and eventually I was just like, look, you're just gonna get stuck in a rut here and a rigmarole and go around a circle.
Yeah.
So I started talking over the top of them and most people it was fine, but for these 2 scallies right next to them, they were still just hearing inside the ear. One of them tiny, absolutely tiny, and the other one's massive.
Is this in hot water?
No. It's in a place called the Campton Furnace in the Baltic Triangle.
All right.
And that's what made everything a bit worse because it was in like a warehouse 5 floors up.
Oh,
The
okay.
bouncers were all the way on the bottom.
All right.
And it was like those foldy chairs. And like this scally had put on like 4 drinks on the stage, like And he got up while this last. And at first, I was on his side because she was pissing me off. She was
Yeah,
pissing me
yeah,
off.
yeah.
She was distracting the show. And he like squared up over this lass and like just decked the lass. And then like one of her mates went to deck him but missed. And then like he was like fighting his lass. And then his lass, she saw like he was fighting lass. She got up to get involved, like screamed, but she got up, stood in the drinks that he put on the stage, slipped, and like literally like it was like poetry. It was just like she just went up like boom, and then it was like curling bowling. She just landed in all the liquid and slid along the stage. Took the mic from me. The mic wire just wrapped round the leg. And so you could just hear screaming through the
something
speakers.
of a cartoon.
Yeah, it was honestly like cartoon-esque. She just hit that entire group, knocked them all off their feet. They just got up, started throwing digs left, right, and centre. It was like domino. It was like a jigsaw. Next thing you know, everybody was either running into the fight, throwing a punch, or running away from the fight. It was like an ECW pay-per-view, man. People were like folding up the chairs and then throwing them into the fight. I was just like, how did this go so badly wrong? I was like 30 seconds away from finishing as well. I was like, how did this get so
Bruno,
bad?
you know, the last scene in Bruno when he's in the middle of the cage and they all just start throwing the chairs in. Is it that level of just chaos?
That level of just chaos and like just humanity, civilization just falling in that instant.
So what are you doing while this is kicking off?
I very courageously
You
ran.
were the ones out the door.
I hid by the bar. At first I was about to run in and break it up, and then just like immediately when I saw it was all going to kick off, I just had this freeze frame moment. I was like, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just ran, hid behind the bar, put my head over, like, oh no. What have I done?
Stop
Please,
this.
guys.
Shit.
The only person who wasn't responding to the fight was the headliner, who was Chris McCausland.
Who's that?
Well, he's blind. Just sat at the back, no idea what was going on.
Raul's got a riot down there.
He came on with the best opening line I've ever heard. He came on and he was like, yeah, in life, I don't really feel like I've missed out on much being blind. But today, really feel like I've missed out. I heard women screaming. Did we get to see some titties? Was it women fighting? What was happening? Somebody give me a blow-by-blow account. Where's Joe Rogan? I need the commentary.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How do you are you? I'm guessing it goes to a break, or what happens when the riot's kicking off?
Yeah, the riot kicks off. It takes ages to break up because the bouncers are on the bottom floor and there's no real, like, there's nobody with a walkie-talkie on our floor. So, like, by the time the word gets down and the bouncers get all the way up the top floor.
It's broken up.
No, we're still going on.
Still going on, good.
Oh, no, these people were like, you know, like breaks up and then somebody just runs in and launches a dig again and kicks off again. It was just that for a good, like, 3-4 minutes. That doesn't sound like much.
I don't know about when that's
But when
all
it's
happening.
that level of violence, it's actually quite a lot of time to do a lot of damage.
Fuck
yeah.
hell, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Christmas gigs.
Christmas,
So
of
here
course.
it is,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, those once a year drinkers will get you.
I mean, that's probably the wildest Christmas gig story I've ever heard.
Well, I'd heard already about how bad Christmas gigs were, but that topped my wildest expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a few like chairs being thrown, but an actual full blown riot.
Yeah, it was just all chance. Do you know what I mean? Like the guy hit the girl, but then when she got involved and like his missus got involved, and when she slipped into the guys, it was just like dominoes. Like she stepped on the drink, slipped, slid through
That's
the
the
drinks,
best part. That's the
took
best
the
part.
mic with her. But then when she knocked all those guys down, they were just very emasculated by the fact that they'd been knocked down by like an
Like a wee-
140-pound woman. Like just
Like
by
we
accident.
10-pin bowling guys.
Yeah. And I think they just had something to prove after that. And it's just like, the thing is, I never understand, like, don't these people have like jobs or like reputations to like, you know, if somebody like videos that and puts it on Insta, they're like, oh crap. Like, you know what I mean?
Fuck.
That's my job gone.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
more running Madagascar.
oh man, I'd pay good money to see that woman slide along the stage, just knocking everyone down.
You would, but not when you're on stage, mate. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Just slow motion, just carnage, chaos about to unfold.
I would have been off that stage so quickly. I would have been behind that bar in a fucking second.
It was the promoter, bless him, he's tiny, but he ran in and like was fully in the middle of the mix. He
You'd
wasn't
have
just throwing
to-
dicks. Just like,
if-
come on,
if there's
this is what I
anyone-
do comedy for. But he was genuinely trying to break it up. And then he's just saying, Raul, get me in the bar, mate, get me in the bar.
You're like, I'm already there. I've been here for 5 minutes.
Right, leave this to you, mate. It's all yours. I don't want none of this smoke.
Holy shit. Yeah, the promoter's got the responsibility. That's his gig.
That's his, yeah, because I guarantee he's not standing at the end going, so if you'd like to leave us a review on TripAdvisor.
Yeah, no one's doing that. Yeah, follow us on all social
Google,
media. Yeah,
really helps. You know what I mean? What would those reviews be like? Paid for comedy,
man.
Ended up in a Royal Rumble.
That's wild. I love hearing stories like that.
Uh,
Obviously, when I'm not involved.
Yeah. I think that's sort of like what at least a certain old school type of comedy was like. But I think nowadays, you're getting a lot of just that thing we talked about in terms of somebody could photo them and they be on social media and they lose their job. It's quite easy to trace. Maybe that's a good thing. But like, have you ever heard the Malcolm Hardy story?
No.
When he like pissed on a man.
He pissed on a man.
It's like a really famous comedy story. But nowadays, you look back and you go,
Ugh.
this guy when he ran, up the creek.
Yeah.
So he was like the MC. He ran like up the creek. And Malcolm Hardy's one of these people. He's like a comedian. He's a promoter. Never was quite stratospheric, but he's like a cult legend within comedy, right? Just one of these people that was just mad as a kite. Had a lot of stories to tell.
I'm mad as a kite.
I've mixed up my metaphors there, haven't I? What is the?
I heard that. I was like, is that a phrase?
Mad as a hatter, but then there's
high as a kite.
High as a kite.
In my head, honestly, as you were talking, I was visualizing a kite in the sky. I was like, that's quite calm.
I am so bad for this. I always mix up my metaphors. Even day I was telling someone I was stretched too thin, and I was like, "Yeah, mate, I'm just drowning under a lot of plates." Do you mean drowning under a lot of...
Drowning on a lot of plates?
Yeah,
that is not
and
one.
spinning too many plates. It's like, oh, that's it. Yeah, drowning under a lot of plates. I do it all the time. I'm so bad for mixing up metaphors.
Brilliant.
But Malcolm Hardy, just he's just cult legend like that. His autobiography I'd recommend to like. I wouldn't if you actually want to make something of yourself in comedy, but if you want, I don't know, if you're in comedy for these sorts of experiences, if you like that live aspect of it and you like the sort of road and journeyman aspect of it, he's definitely someone's autobiography you want to read.
Perfect.
And his autobiography talks about the fact that like somebody like passed out in the. And even this wouldn't happen now. Like if somebody got that drunk, the bouncer would probably take. them out.
You'd be out. You probably wouldn't have got that far.
Yeah, so they're that drunk and they were basically like front row, like this.
Yeah. Head down.
Head down, completely out of it. And, everyone was like, do something to him. So just Malcolm Hardy pulls down his zip, pisses on this guy's head while he's asleep. Guy doesn't even wake up.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And then apparently thought it was really funny afterwards. He came back next week and was like, oh, it's hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't be my first reaction. I'd be like, why did you give me a golden shower in the middle of a comedy show?
Yeah,
but that guy must have been into that. He must have been like, that's fucking class.
I just like, can you imagine that happening now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
you
mean,
see like open mics getting reported for telling bad jokes.
Fuck, pissing on someone in a show, that's your career done now.
That is, yeah.
There's no coming back from
definitely
that.
Crossing a threshold.
Class, man, this has been good having you on, man. I've enjoyed this.
Thank you very much, mate. I've enjoyed it as well.
There's one final thing before you go. There's a final section where I get the guest to recommend a guest for a future podcast. You get to pick someone, and I have to try and get them on the podcast. It's called Suggest a Guest.
Oh!
Came up with it last week. So if you someone you like, someone you think, I'll try and get them on the podcast.
I would say my mate who runs his plumbing business, but he's probably not going to do that, is he now? He's got...
yeah, it's not going to be him. It can be a comedian. It can be anyone, mate. There's been some, I can't remember who they are. Oh, I think I've got them all written down here.
He was like the most famous person I can think of.
Lewis Hamilton, Tim Peake, the astronaut, Solange Knowles, and then there's been
you
a
might
few.
have been able to get her yesterday if she was in town. Beyonce was at Murrayfield, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's I can't actually say that, so looking at her tour date, that's what we'll do with, right? That's how we'll phrase this. She was in Edinburgh yesterday.
Yeah.
She's going to Paris tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where she is tonight?
Wait, she's been in Edinburgh?
No, she was in Edinburgh last night.
Right. She's left already.
She's left. She's doing a different show today in a different location. Tomorrow she'll be in Paris.
Okay.
Where?
I
do you
would
think
put
she
my
is?
money on London. Where's she?
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
You stayed in a travel lodge there that had a Burger King.
No.
Yeah, mate, she's kicking in Sunderland. Can you believe it?
Oh my God. Has anyone warned
in
her?
the stadium alike?
Someone should warn her.
It's just nuts, isn't it? What kind of world tour is that? Edinburgh, Paris, Sunderland.
Sunderland. Wow. She is going to be in for a shock.
You should get, next time he's up, in in Edinburgh. You should get my very good friend, the comedian Tom Horton.
Tom Horton.
Yeah, great comic.
Is that the guy who lived in the Tower of London?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Got loads of interesting stories from that, and trying to navigate beef eaters after one night stands and so on and so forth.
I've seen a video of him walking back into the Tower of London with his shopping bags.
Japanese tourist thinking he's genuine.
Yeah. And he just lived in the Tower of London.
History, wow.
Tom Horton.
Beef eaters shop at Waitrose.
Tom Horton. Like it, man. I like it. I like that guy. I'll try and get him on, man. I'll try and get him on.
Lots interesting to say.
Which is, I'll put all your ticket links for all your friends' show and everything like that.
Yeah, follow at Raul Kohli Comic on all socials. Not Raul and not Rahul Kohli, the actor.
Yeah.
Had another guy.
Future crack addicts, Raul Kohli. Excellent. Just for coming in, man.
I remember when I was promising young comedian Raul Kohli. What's happened to my career? Future crackhead.
It's all downhill from here, mate. You hit this podcast, it's all downhill from here.
Thanks for having us, Rob.
Cheers, man. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.